Iowa and the world runs on capital. Since before statehood, bankers have been partners in Iowa's progress. From facilitating land purchases during our state's infancy, to providing fiscal energy to multi-billion-dollar corporations today, and everything in between, capital is the fuel that has powered innovation and progress in Iowa. Iowa banks provide nearly $30 billion in working capital to Iowa small businesses alone, and provide 60% of all Iowa agriculture's operating credit. In 1887, 29 bankers founded the Iowa Bankers Association around the ideals of serving and protecting the public while fostering a thriving banking industry built on fair, ethical, and sound business practices. Today, 125 years after its formation, the Iowa Bankers Association continues to be the voice of banking in Iowa. The organization has a proud history of service, innovation, and leadership. Since the association's founding in 1887, IBA member banks have put their depositors and communities first. In the very early years, enabled by progressive new federal banking laws and advances in communication technologies, IBA members worked together to create standardized, sound, proven banking practices. Adoption of these ethical practices dramatically improved public confidence in banks, while strongly protecting customers' assets. Bankers took up arms and formed a private security force to guard banks in the 1920s heyday of bank robberies, all while getting tougher laws enacted that eventually made bank robbery the rarity it is today. We pushed for responsible, common-sense regulation to protect consumers in the aftermath of the Great Depression. In 1933, the IBA even promoted a state version of deposit insurance and regulations aimed at protecting customers' assets from bank failure. The legislation became the blueprint for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, or FDIC, enacted that same year. And today, as responsible lenders with direct ties to the communities we serve, Iowa banks remain steadfastly committed to sound, reputable business practices that have the best interest of our customers in mind. For the last 125 years, members of the Iowa Bankers Association have powered the prosperity of the state by keeping Iowa's banks and savings institutions among the most solid, well-run engines of economic growth in the nation. Iowa banking has always centered on local commitment and a strong personal relationship with customers. Perhaps our greatest achievements have come from working together toward the goal of prosperity for each member institution and every Iowan.
It's really not a huge leap to say that the Iowa Bankers Association and our members contribute to a better life for Iowans. We are proud to work for a group of people in the state that help others in their community get a college education or build a new home, open a business, and farm the land. And that is something that we take a good deal of pride in. As an organization, the way we best contribute to that is to have a laser focus on contributing to the success of our members. And in doing so, then they're more capable. They have the resources they need and the work in an environment where they can effectively serve their customers.
Today, 125 years after its formation, the Iowa Bankers Association continues to educate through continuing education for employees of Iowa banks, awareness campaigns to inform policymakers and the public about the vital role banks play in the state, and by supporting financial literacy initiatives for consumers. Advocate for member institutions to protect the reputation and health of banking, and advocate for our communities to ensure a stable source of credit and services to meet their needs.
In my experience, the Iowa Bankers Association, as well as the American Bankers Association, has developed a strong relationship with Iowa legislature or the Congress. And because of our leadership, because of the integrity of the leadership, because of the integrity of our volunteer leadership as well as our professional leadership, I believe that we are listened to very closely and with respect.
Iowa banks protect Iowans through sound management of more than $67 billion in deposits. And collectively, as an association, we are able to protect Iowa banks and bank employees with insurance services offered through our affiliate company, Iowa Bankers Insurance and Services. IBA member banks cooperate to contribute to the success of our communities. We unite our voices and resources to form regional groups and associations that advance the best interests of our state and industry, and therefore all member institutions. And we offer our time and leadership to give back to our industry as volunteers within the association.
One of the distinguishing characteristics of the Iowa Bankers Association is our proximity to the customer. And as an association, our volunteers and our participants in the organization are truly our lifeblood. They are what makes the IBA successful in everything from advocacy to delivery of products and services. We don't go a day in the office here where we don't have bankers in our offices talking about those things. Many of them participate in our peer groups, on our committees, on our advisory boards, board of directors. In addition, we obviously get out to Iowa communities to meet with our bankers and get their feedback. But that network of volunteers is really a distinguishing characteristic of the association.
We innovate with products including mortgage, insurance, and securities brokerage services for our members. Iowa Bankers and IBA had a hand in development of Shazam and its diversified technology and electronic funds transfer services.
I think one of the reasons Iowa has been so innovative has been the volunteer leadership that the association has been fortunate enough to have through the years. The bankers have recognized opportunities and have supported the staff and worked together to create an environment where you can have real innovation and exploration on opportunities, whether it's in education, whether it's in technology, whether it's in addresses to legislation. Iowa has always had the kind of leadership from the industry that has provided for Iowa being recognized as a leader among banking associations around the country.
Most of all, members of the Iowa Bankers Association are deeply involved in their communities. The 18,500 employees of our member institutions live, work, and raise families right where they do business, in hundreds of Iowa communities, large and small.
We have some of the best bankers anywhere, and they are committed to the future of their state. They want to do what they can for their communities to support that. And they know that if they take the time to make an investment in their industry today, it will make a difference in the future of their industry tomorrow.
Well, just looking back at the year since I've been involved, which has now been 4 decades, and knowing the great respect that the Iowa Bankers Association has in the industry, has in the Congress, has in the legislature, and I think even has with the media. We've had great leadership, and that leadership has resulted in that great respect. But what I see is that continuing. I see the Iowa Bankers Association today being as strong as it ever was. I think we have great leadership, both professional leadership as well as voluntary leadership. And I would think that we could look forward to another 125 years of very strong advocacy and support for Iowa banks on the part of the Iowa Bankers Association.
As we celebrate 125 years of service, we know that this milestone is only possible because of the thousands of Iowa bankers who have given so much to help this membership-driven organization succeed. A lot has changed in more than a century, but one thing remains stronger than ever: the Iowa Bankers Association's commitment to contribute to the success of our members and our communities for the next 125 years and beyond.